Hello friends, I am Tiffany and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another day of Vlogmas. Today I am so excited because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things about Christmas, and that is Christmas movies. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 10 favorite Christmas movies, except none of them are going to be in any kind of order because I cannot decide which ones are my favorite. So I'm just going to be talking about 10 of my favorite Christmas movies. So the first movie on the list is one of my most nostalgic Christmas movies, and that is To Grandmother's House We Go. For those of you who don't know, I am obsessed with Mary-Kate and Ashley. I grew up watching Mary-Kate and Ashley videos, and me and my sister, we used to watch them together, and we would memorize the songs and sing the songs together, and it was just so much fun. And To Grandmother's House We Go isn't one of their musical movies, but it is still so much fun because it is a Christmas movie, and it's one of their older ones, so it's whenever they're a little bit younger. For those who have never seen To Grandmother's House We Go, it's about, of course, Mary-Kate and Ashley, two young twin sisters, and they are convinced that their mom is kind of fed up with them. They overhear a conversation because she's just really stressed out about Christmas, and so the girls decide that they want to run away and go to their grandmother's house, and of course there's some mischief along the way. It is such a fun Christmas movie, and even watching it as an adult, I just love it so much. So one movie that was an instant favorite for me from whenever it came out in 2006 is The Holiday. I am absolutely in love with this movie. It's about two women who live in different parts of the country, or different parts of the world. One of them lives in LA and one of them lives in England, and they are just fed up with their lives, and so they decide to swap houses for the holidays. And of course they end up meeting people and falling in love and all of that good stuff that comes with a good holiday romance movie, and it's just so awesome. It's one of my favorites. I watch it every single year and I still love it. Keeping on the holiday romance train, another one of my favorite Christmas movies is Love Actually. This movie follows a bunch of different lives during the holiday season, and there's lots of romance and all that good stuff. And I love movies like this that follow a bunch of different storylines, like New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day and He's Just Not Into You and all that good stuff. And this one is no exception. This one's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Another Christmas movie that kind of centers on romance but also has to do with family and has a lot of comedy in it is The Family Stone. This movie cracks me up. It's about this woman who's a little bit uptight, and she goes with her boyfriend to go meet his family, and his family is super close and they are all very eccentric, a little bit crazy, and then just a lot of different events happen that make the holidays a little extra crazy. I love this movie because it has all the comedy. It is so funny, it makes me laugh, but then there's also the romance aspect, and it all happens kind of in unexpected ways, and I just love how everything comes together in the end, and it's just a fun and awesome Christmas movie. Another Christmas movie that's a little bit nostalgic for me is Eloise at Christmas Time. It's just such a cute movie. I love Eloise. I think she's adorable, and Eloise at Christmas Time just is Eloise elevated because it has all of the Christmas fun. And this particular movie is about, of course, Eloise. She is 6 years old and she lives at the plaza, and she is trying to find the perfect Christmas present for her mom and everybody else in her life. She is so generous and she buys Christmas presents for everybody, but on top of that there's also another storyline, an element of it where she is trying to get a couple back together before the woman in the relationship marries a guy that is not so awesome. So it also has that romance element, but it's kind of underlying behind the whole just Eloise and her personality. Another movie that gives me all the nostalgic feels is Babes in Toyland, but it's the 1986 version that has Drew Barrymore in it. I don't know that many people that have ever seen this version, but it's the only version that I've actually seen, and I love it because I had it on VHS growing up, and I used to watch it all the time, not just during Christmas. And it has a song about Ohio in it. I come from Cincinnati, Cincinnati, the best town in Ohio, Ohio, USA. And now I sing that song probably way too much anytime we go to Cincinnati pretty much, and nobody knows where it's from. And also, I don't know if it's just from this movie. It's probably from somewhere else. I have no idea. I loved this movie growing up, watched it all the time, loved Drew Barrymore, and I just loved that Cincinnati song. I assume that it is a remake of the older one. I'm sure it follows the same plot line and all that good stuff. But for those who don't know, Babes in Toyland is about a girl who keeps on trying to convince herself that she is not a child. She's too old to like enjoy the magic of Christmas and to believe in Santa Claus and all that stuff. And so she gets a head injury and she is transported to Toyland, where she finds people that are the people in her real life, but they are actually like living in this Toyland world. And so she has to defeat the evil Barnaby and all that stuff. And in order to do that, of course, she has to believe in the magic of Christmas. So of course I can't make a list of my favorite Christmas movies without mentioning Elf. Elf has been a classic pretty much since it's come out. It's hard not to fall in love with this movie, but for those who haven't seen it, which is ridiculous, Elf is about, of course, Buddy the Elf, who was raised by elves, but he's, shocker, actually human. And so whenever he finds that out, he tries to go find his dad in New York City, and all this crazy stuff happens. So it's so much fun. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies because it just makes me laugh, but it also gives me all the holiday feels. Another one of my favorite Christmas movies growing up was The Santa Claus. This was another one that I owned on VHS. And so I used to watch it all the time with my fam, and so it just gives me all the nostalgic feels. And for those who don't know, it's about a man who accidentally kills Santa. He knocks him off his roof, and so he is forced to take his place. Another Christmas movie that I of course have to mention is Home Alone. It is tough to find any kind of Christmas movie list that doesn't mention Home Alone, and for good reason, because it's amazing. It's about a boy who accidentally gets left at home whenever his family goes on their Christmas vacation, and while he's at home alone, some crooks try to get into his house, and of course he plays a bunch of tricks on them, and it's just a funny, feel-good Christmas movie. So the last movie on my list is one that's extremely special to me because it was introduced to me by Kyle and his family, and it is White Christmas. So I actually only watched White Christmas for the first time a few years ago, and it was the first Christmas that I spent with Kyle and his family, and I love it, and I love that it's part of their Christmas tradition to watch White Christmas every year. And it's exciting for me because my family didn't really have Christmas traditions growing up because my Christmases were very transient. My parents got divorced when I was really young, and we lived overseas sometimes, and my dad was in the military, so he would be deployed for some Christmases. My dad also got remarried, and so it's just a lot of different things happened to where we didn't really have any Christmas traditions growing up. So it's really cool to be able to share this Christmas tradition with Kyle and his family whenever we spend Christmases with them. So I just love this movie for what it is, but then I also love it because it's a tradition that I get to share in with Kyle and his family. So those are my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. Of course, this isn't the end-all be-all to my Christmas movie list. I love Christmas movies. I love the cheesy ones. I love the classic ones. I love the nostalgic ones. I just love Christmas movies in general. But these are the 10 that I watch regularly year after year because they either make me feel nostalgic, or they give me all the feels, or they just make me happy. And I just love Christmas movies. So I would love to know what your favorite Christmas movies are. So be sure to leave those in the comments below and let me know what your favorite movies are to watch during the Christmas season. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button to get those notifications. And I will see y'all in the next Vlogmas video tomorrow. Bye guys.